Okay, after 1 year of countless software updates, some buggy and some fine, I thought to revisit the original OnePlus Nord before, or if I decide to cover the Nord 2, something I am not really sure of, as the launch date is set for this month around 22nd July. So did OnePlus really deliver a good experience on this device in the past 1 year or so? Or was it all hype? Let's find out. Now if I talk about the hardware, even in 2021 this isn't a bad device at all. But again, something that Chinese brands have started to do, launch a base variant and never bring it in stock. Something OnePlus did with the original OnePlus Nord last year. And this year again with the Nord CE. Well, you have got to stop shady practices if you really want new users to buy your phones. Also, like a small amount of tech YouTubers have been raising this, and we know why, but that's not what we are going to discuss. So the base variant was there and it came for a couple of sales. And after that, gone. At that price, the storage was less at 64GB, but for someone on a tight budget, it's understandable. And I'm not considering that variant because of the shady practices. The 8 plus 128GB model was at 27,999, which is towards the higher side, and for that price, the build quality was decent if not the best. But the issue started right off with the display, and the tint was quite dominant on the screens used, which is a display characteristic, but it was on the higher side on this device. And OnePlus did increase the minimum brightness so that people cannot notice it. Yeah, and that higher brightness made me blind anyway. The display looks fine in normal scenarios, and the higher refresh rate makes it feel smooth and enhanced. And the experience is good, at least on paper. Other stuff like 30W fast charging, decent camera sensors were the good things, though that was not the case in real life. And now talking about the software aspect, well, if I speak honestly about this device, it has been degraded with OxygenOS 11 update. When I first got this device, everything was good with OxygenOS 10, apart from some minor issues that could have been easily fixed, and it took them 4 months to fix some of those, not all. Some issues with 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth still remain to this date on Android 10 and even 11. Along with mobile data disconnection with games like Free Fire and BGMI that used to happen with Android 10. So after that came the Android 11 update, and it looked like things are going to get better as it did get a lot of new features. But then things went the other way, and now the notification delay is there with basic applications, and that hasn't been fixed for like 5 months now, and people are missing out on basic stuff that should have been fixed on priority. Definitely not the experience that we all paid for. So if I say about OxygenOS 11 on the OnePlus Nord, well, it has been nothing short of a horror movie, as the device lacks in even basic applications, and the performance with games has also gone downhill. And you can ask all other users in comments if you are still a OnePlus fanboy. Of course, OxygenOS now has its own identity, but that has come at a cost of user experience, which I simply think was not required, and older phones are still struggling with bugs. So to this date, Android 11 on the OnePlus Nord is buggy, and devices like Pixel 4a and 5 will get Android 12 in a couple of months. So if you ask about the software experience on Nord, well, I would say it has not been good at all. The device had a good processor, a Snapdragon 765G, that can perform too good, but didn't because of lack of software optimizations. 5G support is there too, but that is also namesake, as it has one 5G band. Yeah, it might be able to run 5G, but it is not at all future-proof and unusable if you use this phone in some other part of the world. Something similar I could see in the camera department. We had a bunch of these crap sensors that had no role. A 2MP depth sensor that has no use, a 2MP macro camera, same, that has no use at all, and it was there to show off as usual. But we had a good spec 32MP sensor on the front that performs like an 8MP one at best, and that wide angle is okayish too. I complained from day one about the quality of front-facing camera and the exposure issue that it had. Though the exposure issues were taken care of somewhat with Android 11, the quality of images is still bad, and devices like the Pixel 4a can beat the shit out of this device in terms of camera performance. Something similar for the back camera, as that Sony IMX586 sensor can do really well in daylight, but lacks a lot in artificial lighting scenarios. So the cameras were a mixed bag overall and not that great as it seemed on paper, to be honest. Some good things that this device retained were the alert slider and 30 watts of fast charging, which has also slowed down after the updates. And all of the stuff that has happened in past has only made me to go away from this device, and hence I find the device like Pixel 4a to be a better pick than Nord because of its gimmick-free nature and consistent software. Believe me, it is not perfect either, but suits my requirements, and most people will be happy to buy it. As after a year with the OnePlus Nord, well, I'm not that excited for this new OnePlus Nord 2. Even though they are switching over to MediaTek SoCs now, and the hardware was never a complaint with the new devices that have launched in the past 1 year or so. It's the software that ruins the experience so much that I tend to stay away from gimmicks now. And that's pretty much it for this video. So if you feel this way and if you end up liking this video, do make sure to subscribe to the channel and like and share this video with your friends. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.